In this short video, we're going to look more closely at the TestCase class in Django, and we're going to see a small optimization that we can use when we have a large test suite using a Django project. And as we dive into this, we're going to also learn a little bit more about the setup method on unit test TestCase classes. Now I've got the Django docs open here, and we have the TestCase. It's the most common class that we use for writing tests in Django. Now actually the TestCase class inherits from another Django testing class, and that's the transaction TestCase. And there's a further class here in this hierarchy called simple TestCase. We'll show a little bit more about that later in the series. We're going to focus mostly on TestCase for now. If your Django app doesn't use a database though, you can write tests using the simple TestCase class. Now some of the differences between the TestCase and the transaction TestCase are noted here. So for example, the TestCase wraps the tests in two nested atomic blocks. So we have one atomic transaction for the entire class and also one for each test method. So that means that every test method that we have in this test file, for example, test instock property and test get discount price and so on, each of these is run inside its own transaction, and that transaction will be rolled back at the end of the test. But also for the class itself, there is an outer transaction that wraps the entire class. Now the reason that we're mentioning this, if we go back to the documentation, is related to this additional method that's added on Django TestCase classes, and that's the setup test data method. Now I say method, this is actually a class method, so it's a class level method, and you can see that in the test below. It's decorated using the class method decorator in Python, and the functionality of this is possible because of that class level atomic block that wraps the entire class and all of the tests within that. So because we have that transaction for the entire class, it allows the creation of initial data at the class level and only once for the entire test case. And that technique allows for faster tests compared to just using setup. Now if we go back to our project at the moment, we have a setup method, and at the start of each test we're going to create this product. And I say at the start of each test, that's because when we have this method here, it's going to recreate self.product, and then at the end of that it's going to tear it down, and then again for each of the methods that are subsequent to that, it's going to create the product at the start of each method. But maybe we don't need to do that. Maybe we just need to create it once and share that across all of the tests that we have in the class. For that purpose, we could use this method called setup test data, and that means it will only be created once for the whole test case. And if you're creating a lot of objects in the database as part of your setup and you only need to do that once, that's going to provide some performance benefits over creating these things many times, once for each method in the class. And these kind of time savings are going to be very nice as your application grows and as your test suite grows as well, to potentially many hundreds or thousands of test cases. Now we can do this with our example because we're just creating a product here and we're not actually going to change anything about the product. Remember, if we just create it once at the start of the test, but then we start changing it in the test methods, that might lead to inconsistent state. So you need to be careful about where you do this. But what we're doing is just creating a product, and we're not mutating that anywhere, we're not changing it. So we can actually move this to a setup test data method. So we're going to do that just now, setup test data. Now there's a couple of changes we need to make here. Let's go back to the Django documentation. The first one is to decorate this with the class method decorator. So let's do that just now, and that denotes it as a static method essentially. And because it's static, it doesn't have access to the instance, so we change self to class, and we can change the self.product reference to class.product. Now this test case class that we have here has 6 methods, and instead of running the setup method 6 times at the start of each one of them, this is now going to be run once for the entire class, and it's just going to create that product a single time. So let's go to the terminal now, and I'm going to run python manage.py test just to make sure that our tests are still working, and we have 6 tests and they're all running okay. So just to repeat the benefit of this, let's imagine that this test case class has 100 tests, and that might seem like a lot, but test case classes can have a lot of methods. If you were creating 15 database objects as part of your test setup, you would have to save those to the database at the start of every single test case. So if you have 100 test methods, that means 100 times the setup is going to be performed, and then it's going to be rolled back at the end of the test. But if we can do that in the outer atomic block of the class that the test case adds, then that means we have the potential to set up data once and only once for the entire class. And that's what we're doing here, and that's a nice little performance optimization that Django's test case class will add. So we're just building up the knowledge of Django's TestCase class and some of the features that it provides. In the next video, I want to move on to another component of Django applications, and that's views in a Django application. We're going to see how we can test our views, and we're going to introduce some important features such as the Django test client. That's coming up in the next video.